everybody. Hello, Maree. Hello, Jazzy.
Yay. Hi, Elisa. Jasper says hello to everybody.
Yes, awesome. So I wonder if I should go get Steven. What do you think?
Absolute yes. Jasper's going yes straight away. Go get
All right.
Stephen.
All
Let's
right.
communicate.
All right.
This
Well,
is
you keep him
exciting.
busy while I go get him.
Right. Okay. So, hi, Kathleen. Nice to see you on here as well. So, I don't know about you guys, but I slept till about 2, and then I woke up and I went, "This is weird. I've woken up." And so I usually just go back to sleep, but I just went, no, I'm just going to check a YouTube thing. And anyway, what came up was the Donald J. Trump inauguration talk. I couldn't believe it. Hi, Barbara. I was just telling them, Elisa, I went to sleep, but then I woke up at 2 in the morning, our time, and I got a hit to look on YouTube, and there was Donald J. Trump doing his inauguration speech. And I went, and I knew in my heart that this was absolutely huge, and this is why I was actually watching it live, because it was live and it was 2 or 2:30 or something ridiculous. And everything he was saying, I was going, you know what? This is what he's been promising. This is everything he's been promising, and he's actioning it right in that day. He was actioning everything. He said what he was going to action, and I was just going, this is really huge on an energy level, on a consciousness level, on a heart level. I just felt it. So I don't know if anyone else watched it or saw it or yeah.
I did not watch it just because I don't have that kind of time. So, I had so much to do today that I just didn't. And I figured I always like it when all the little bits and important info is comes out in in the little memes and stuff. So I was like, I'll just wait for all of that. But that's wonderful, because if we need to talk about it today, at least you're aware and you can ask questions.
Which never happens, right? Everything's back to front time-wise for me. So to actually be awake and get the hit to do this, but I really felt it. I went, oh my gosh, this is important. I never get to watch these big, long things or whatever. So I just had it on and was sort of dozing as I was listening. So it was really quite amazing. So, yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's fantastic.
Yes. So, and Barbara is saying, yeah, she cried when he said it is the beginning of the golden age. And I really felt that. It's just this heart emotional opening. It's beautiful. So, yeah.
Oh, that's so exciting. That's
Yeah.
so exciting. And I know I heard there was a lot of fear mongering that something was going to happen to him. But first of all, I've disconnected completely of the Matrix. Like, I don't even watch anything until whenever we have the show, 1 hour before the show, I'll go look at stuff just to have something to talk about. But otherwise, I'm completely disconnected. And so, and so it's just been so, it's just been awesome. Just to the feeling of it. It feels fresh. It feels new. It feels like,
I agree with you. And, it's interesting because on this show, nothing negative's ever come up that anything was going to happen, did it? It was always, no, it's fine. And I think just from memory, which I don't often get, it came up that there would just be some truths that would come out, which is exactly what he was saying. It was literally like, this has gone on, we're going to stop this. This has gone on, we're going to bring out the truth about JFK, about, the things that happened to them. Like, it's all, yeah.
Did he talk about all of that?
Yeah. So he was saying that they're going to absolutely, he said there's too much stuff that's been redacted. We are bringing it out for the public to see. Martin Luther King, JFK, who was the other one? Someone else, maybe. Yeah. And he said that that's going to be all opened up to the public, the truth about it all. And remember, that's what came up in the cards, was that there would be some truths that would actually come out.
Yes.
From that. So I know, because we got nothing negative in the cards for him at all around all of this.
Right.
So yeah, it was interesting.
A question I would like to ask is, the people that were trusting these truthers that were putting out this fear stuff, are they going to wake up and see that these people were
Yeah.
being manipulated, or I don't know. I mean,
Look, we can check with the cards, but my gut feeling is that yes, and they're going to have to learn discernment, like really discerning for themselves. And we always say that here, Elisa, you and I on this show, guys, no matter what comes up in the cards that we interpret or that we look at, you have to go inside and listen to your own wisdom, your own divine intuition. So,
yeah.
That's so to me, I mean, I do that with everything. And like I always say, if someone is meant to have an experience in believing something and then going through what happens with that, perfect. That's the experience that they've needed to either have a shift or to have a different perspective or to trust themselves more. It's always a beautiful learning curve with an experience like that. So I don't have any problems with anyone that's putting out anything that doesn't end up being correct. I mean, because, well, in that timeline, because there's always a perfect reason for it for whoever's watching or deciding on.
Yeah, well, these aren't necessarily people. Well, some of them were channelers, but others were not. They're just truthers, like people that talk. You know what I'm saying? They're not
Correct.
necessarily spiritual, or yeah.
Yeah,
So
no. So to me, that's still perfect. So
yeah,
it's interesting because it's like I just get this feeling when I go, this doesn't feel right. There's something here that's off. Yeah, I'm just going to let that one go. So let that one go through to the keeper. So,
yeah. So definitely, let's ask the cards to see.
Yep. Okay. To see, is that, what is that? Like, what should we ask? How should we
Are
put it,
people
Elisa?
learning discernment with the truthers that are out there that are trying to manipulate and put people in fear just so they can get people to watch their shows?
These cards, honestly, they always tell a story. I love it. They're hot today too. Whew.
Good.
I know. Perf. This is unbelievable. So the first card we get up is our Page of Swords. Now, to me, this is always, remember that word furphy? To me, this is always when there's a little bit of a furphy and they might have believed there was some truth in it, but it's not actually been really spot on. And then we got the Fool card. So yes, it's making people take a leap and look at things differently. It's like a leap of faith. Well, okay, I need to go in and look at something and do something new. And then we have my integrity card, that Queen of Wands. She's always for me about integrity. So this is definitely for people to start discerning and not believing everything that they hear or see. My gosh, for how many years have we all been fooled by the mainstream media, or indoctrinated at a subconscious level. So this is really a new consciousness for people.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I think it's coming into the truther community, and it's also going into the truther community has all these videos, right, that are being put in there like, oh, look at the house is on fire or whatever. And I also think that has also been infiltrated, and fake stuff is being put out there as well on our own feeds, that we think, oh, we can trust these people, but in the end, that can be manipulated too.
Absolutely.
So,
Of course it can. So, I mean, gosh, you can do anything these days with some film and some, backdrops and green screens. It's just incredible what can be done. And this is why it's so important for us to go inside and discern. And it doesn't matter if our discernment is off as well when it comes to the reality that plays out. That's no big deal. The fact is that we're doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, okay. So I saw that we had some questions, that we had a question here. Here we go. From Kathleen. I watched it, but a question: why did he take the oath without his hand on the Bible? And
wow. Okay. And yes, it is a new golden age. That's really interesting because I actually saw something pop up this morning when I woke up around that. I don't know if anyone else has seen this, but there's an explanation that, yes, number one, if he really is still the commander-in-chief, he doesn't need to be sworn in again. Number two, that process was part of the old, what do you call it?
The old way of doing things.
The old way of doing things. So maybe they're sort of making it look like, look, this is what we've done. So this is what people expect, but we're going to change this up. So, and maybe that will come out. There'll be something that comes out about that as well. But I can ask the cards as well. But they're the two reasons that I saw, because I didn't see that bit, Kathleen. I was, like I said, I was listening and dozing because it was like, 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning for me. So I didn't actually see that. So that's a really good question. So let's have a look and see if the cards can give us any sort of clarity on that.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. This has just come up, the Emperor card. He's already in power. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps. He didn't need to do that. And let's just check to see if there's any clarification around it's the old way of doing it as well, to see if that's an aspect. He didn't need to do it. He's already been in control. He's been in term. This is so cool. That card came up out of all of them. Yes. So yeah, it's definitely also showing people, because the truth will come out once the election results from 2020 come out, then everything's going to change anyway. Because when I do hear him talk, he's very much into God and Jesus and that connection spiritually. I really feel that with him. I don't feel it's an act. I don't know about everyone else, but I don't feel it's an act. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I also heard that he is restoring the Republic, and maybe that has nothing to do with the Republic, putting your hand on the Bible. I don't know, in the old days when we were under the Republic, how they would swear in presidents, I don't know. But that also
I don't know either. Yeah, that's something we could actually maybe research. That's almost like a research question as to, did they do that before it became a corporation? Was it 1892 or something ridiculous like that where it got changed around the time of the supposed big shift that happened, all of that stuff that went on. So I don't know. That's a research question.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if you guys, when you guys are talking about her dress, I did notice it was sort of dark, like black, almost like a cape. And then her arms were white, like a white shirt with a black cape with like her white arms and the white underneath. And I thought that was kind of weird.
Okay, straight away, what I was getting, I'd love to hear, you guys, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Dark to light. That's just what I got with that image, because I didn't see her dress. So I was watching him for about probably 20 minutes, and then I just started to listen. So I didn't see her dress.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. But, okay. And Amber Lee's put up there, the Punisher. She means business. I like that. Because she's really stepping up again. Remember, there was quite a hiatus, wasn't there, where she wasn't around much. And now, and I did hear something else, is that she's just put out a meme coin. Donald's meme coin has gone, and hers is, so who knows what they're playing at. I think it's all pretty funny. It's all part of a movie, really, at the end of the day. So,
right. Yeah.
But I can ask the cards if you like, to see if we can get any more clarity on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Kathleen says her dress reminded me of Via Vendetta movie costume. So it had that feeling. It had that like regal feeling, but regal in a sense of like negative.
Okay, so let's have a look. Oh my gosh, I love this. Look at this. We've got a king with a cape on, and to me, this King of Cups often has something hidden, and it can be emotional as well. Something's hidden there, ready to be exposed, or has been hidden for a while. I love that there's a cape on there, and then we get this card. So I
Ah,
feel it's actually showing that there's going to be a big change. So that dark to light, the V for Vendetta, all of those things, I feel I'm going to get a clarifying card for this as well. But to me, that feels exciting. You know, anything that brings about an awareness for people, because the Tower card is definitely about a shift in reality that does bring a huge change, mindset, way of doing things. Yeah, and then we go to a King of Swords. So this is someone that, again, has integrity but has a plan. So that swords is the mind, the air, it's a master. This is a master plan, guys. She's a big part of this.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. Sorry, I was looking for this question that's a little bit different, so I'll ask it just because it's out of the blue. So, can you talk about dogmen, werewolves, and what their purpose is?
Wow,
Huh.
it's interesting. You know, it's fascinating, Sean. I've always actually been drawn to like fantasy books and werewolves and things like that as well. It's really an interesting question. Dogmen. I didn't know that they were called dogmen though. That's fascinating.
Yeah.
And when I hear dogmen though, I think of Sirius because that's the dog star. So I don't know if that's related to this as well. But I don't know. Any thoughts on this, Elisa, from you?
Yeah, I had someone in one of my sessions who was a werewolf,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a curse placed on him or
Okay.
her. Well, it was a she, but I think she was a him in that life. But yeah, so it was like a curse. She had done something wrong, and that's what they did to her. They they made her into a werewolf,
Mm.
and she would turn into a wolf. So she was half man, half wolf. You know, like full. I mean, she would turn it on full wolf or full man, not half and half. But so from what I remember, and this was forever ago, that's what it was. At least on that session, is that it was a curse. It was like when people were cursed.
That's a
Yeah.
yes.
Mm.
Yeah. So it's almost like a being shunted out of a community and
Hmm.
having okay, and that came up with an absolute yes to that.
Yeah.
So well done. Yeah, good job.
Yeah.
So there you go. So Sean, I don't know if you've had any other experiences around it or little insights, but let us know.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So now that the new president has been reinstated or reinstated.
Continued.
Um, so what do the cards want to tell us about how people how what's next? What can the cards tell us about what's next?
Okay, let's have a look and see. What's next? So we're going to ask as in what's next as far as the actions that are taken now to bring about the change. That
Yeah.
is, okay. So what's going to come up from
Is there still going to be a financial crash? Like, because I had heard that they wanted the financial crash to happen while Biden was in charge. So now that he's not, it's like, well, is it going to happen?
exactly, and things have changed. Wow. Okay, this is really interesting because we've got our high priestess. To me, this is still mystery there for us. It's there's a balance going on, but it's a little bit mysterious, but it's still very high consciousness. And then we get the star, which again is high consciousness. So everything that's happening now to me is happening through a higher consciousness than what we maybe had heard or thought before, because the shift is just amazing when you're in it. The higher consciousness is just, look at this, amazing. No, abundance. Look at this. We've got our 9 of Pentacles,
That's
which
what I
to
keep
me,
hearing, that
yeah,
he's going to create abundance for everybody. Um, he's
golden
already
age.
mentioned several things. I heard he already said that he was going to turn the IRS into a different type of
I heard that.
corporation or something. I don't remember what the.
I heard that one. And what he was saying is that they're going to start putting tariffs on anything imported. They're going to bring back manufacturing into the US so that anything that comes from other countries will be tariffed, and the IRS will be the ones that get all the money that comes in from that form of finance. So that's
and then people don't have to pay taxes anymore, right?
Well, he's already said
That's
that.
freaking genius.
Genius. And this, look at this. This is abundance in the golden age. So I don't know if there's going to be that same way of huge financial crash. I mean, things have to change. Obviously, there has to be a change in the system at some point.
Right, but I had heard that it was going to be under the table, so it would not affect people and people wouldn't freak out.
Yeah.
So can we ask the cards that if the original financial crash was going to happen, is still going to happen?
Okay, let's see if there is going to be some sort of crash. Still, I mean, you can
financial
you can still have a financial crash and then have the most amazing golden age.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
but it would be good to know. I mean,
interesting, because that Knight of Wands has come up, and this is where action that's taken isn't always, to me, this is how I interpret the card. Action that's been taken or the message that's coming through isn't always accurate. It's like something falls off the table. This one came up just before we started. So it looks like there could be something that happens, but it could be for specific areas. So it might be around the banks a little bit, or it might be around the super funds, or it could be around the housing. Or, I feel it's going to be broken up. It's not going to be one big massive drop, but yeah, okay, this one's hot. Let me just see what this one wants to tell us. Yeah, it's you. Queen of Pentacles. This has been really contemplated. When the Queen of Pentacles comes up, it's actually contemplating a situation, often around finances. Really contemplated this one to see what the best way for it to go is. And so there is going to be something that happens, but nothing like what we thought it was going to be, basically. Yeah, the Fool. And then this whole new way of being, this whole new financial system is going to come in, and people are going to go into it with trust because of all the rubbish that's gone on for so long, with prices, with everything that's happened already.
So I'm thinking, what I'm thinking is that's why he probably is pushing crypto, because the banks have no control over crypto. So if people start using crypto to as currency, the banks are going to lose their power completely.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling that's like the easiest way to take them down. It's like, just offer the people something different, and people are going to realize I don't need the banks anymore.
Well, the other thing is, remember now, and we can check the cards for this as well. Remember, I think it's March 25th, banks have to be ISO, I never know how to say it, 220, whatever it is, compliant. And that's basically using a different form rather than the SWIFT system that they have in place. That's going to use the XRP ledger aspect. So, and then I don't think it's actually activated then until September or something, from what I've read in the finance stuff. So look, we can ask so you want me to ask if basically they're pushing the crypto so people have an alternative?
Yeah. So they start getting away from banks.
Let's have a look and see. Oh, that one's hot. Ace of Pentacles. So, but I mean, the thing is with banks as well, there's time. I feel there's going to be time. Again, they've slowed this down, haven't they, to now? And I feel there's going to be time for people to see what's happening, to then decide, what they want to do with, if they've got a business, what they, there's going to be something else that comes up, because that's something new as well. It's a very positive, yes, a new way of doing finance. I feel it's all going to happen. I don't know. It's so hard to say. Let me just get some other cards.
So you don't think it's crypto? You think it's something other than crypto?
I think it's a combination. Oh my goodness. We got him again. Whatever it is, the whole plan, he's going to bring out the plan. It's not just his plan, obviously. This has been worked on by multiple people.
Yeah.
But he's going to be the face for this new aspect. So some of it may be crypto. It's not, I don't feel it's one thing. I think it's going to be a combination of things. Let me just get one more card. It's amazing the cards that are coming out today, and they're so hot when I'm actually divinating them. Oh, that one's really hot. Judgment card. Once this truth starts coming out and people start seeing things for themselves. So like I said, there could be aspects that actually start to really go drop, and they go, what? And so and that's when they've actually seen how it's set up, how this system is actually set up to fail for us. That's when I feel this comes in from these cards.
Okay.
So yeah, so not necessarily all about the crypto. That might be a transitioning thing.
Oh, okay. Well, I know the QFS was supposed to come in 3 years ago in that timeline, because my brother had sent me documentation, so I know it's real, or it was real in that timeline. Who knows now? Like, I tell you,
this is it. You know, maybe the system, maybe we will never hear that name. That maybe it's a system that runs, and it'll just be expressed to people as, oh, this is a much faster, much, more a safer way for transactions to happen. And they might not talk about money. They might just talk about, what do you call it? It might be a whole different language. So.
okay. So in that document, when I read it, it said like, what it was is that the Bank of Zimbabwe was going to get like, I don't know how many trillion amount of money in gold.
Yeah.
And then it was just literally, it was like almost 2 paragraphs of words, and the rest were just banks and what they were going to get to almost like make the system equal with the poor countries with the rich countries, and giving them this would make it all like balance out. So is that still going to happen? I mean, I'll call it the quantum financial system because that's what the paperwork said. But is that still going to happen? What was in that paperwork?
It's really a gold-backed system, isn't it? Well, it's a asset-backed system.
Yeah, but they were going to actually get that additional amount of money. Like there was, yeah.
10 of Pentacles. This is the biggest abundance card apart from the ace that you can get for a lot of people. So I feel that's still a part of it, and it's probably already happened. But, It's not the right timing, because something else has to happen so people can see how this system was set to make us fail. See, King of Cups came up as I was talking about that. It was all hidden, and people have just gone, well, this is just how it is. We'll just struggle and carry, do the best we can.
Yeah.
So I feel it's already happened, but it'll come out a little bit more in a way that's more gentle. That 6 of Pentacles is about offering something, but it's financially, but it's in a way that's more gentle, so that it's not just too overwhelming for people, I think.
Yeah.
And I feel they've been very conscious of that with the changes that are happening.
Well, the reevaluation is going to help the poor countries, so I would think they would want that to come out. So is that reevaluation still going to happen then?
Let's have a look and see. I did see something. It was on a not a podcast. It was just a news article or something I read, that I think, is it the dinar, that there was something going on. They said this has to be valued back to a normal place, like in before anything else could happen. And so that was last week. I think I read something about that.
Well, that's been going on. Yeah, that's been the 0 point of their reevaluation is the dinar. And I would love to know why the dinar and why Iraq, why them, like why is, so that would be super interesting to know.
I know, right? Yeah. Very political, I think, that one. So So we're asking first, though, is there still going to be like a balancing?
Reevaluation so that all the countries
Reevaluation.
are in the same foot instead of being poor countries being poor and the other countries having more money.
It's one of this. It's definitely a strategy. So the strategy, the 5 swords that he's carrying there is the change, and then there's 2 in the ground already. So it's definitely a strategy that has been looked at and really worked with. Let's just see, get some clarity on this. Looks like it. That one's come up again. Our beautiful golden age, our 9 of Pentacles, the abundance, and it's
Okay,
unique.
good, because I really want these countries that have been poor, it's time for them to
shine.
Yeah.
And, we know who did it. It's all been done through this system with the deep state, and they had the most minerals, they have the most abundance, and they usually are the most connected spiritually. So, of course, they're going to be the first ones that get taken out.
Yep.
Yeah, look at this, the star card. And this is choices as well from a higher spiritual realm to me. This is when we choices can be made. So there is definitely a strategy in place that where that is wanted. So
Okay. So there is a strategy, but it's not telling us that it is actually going to happen.
It's there. So whether
time.
it's
Okay.
Okay. I'll just tune into something. Okay, so I interesting. So I asked if we could get like a timeline, and it was a yes. And then the next card up is the Hanged Man. So no, it's still in processing per se. It's not going to happen like this. Again, like I said, some things might happen very quickly that have been very public, like the border, like all of the things that have been really put in people's faces of the consequences of that. I feel those things will get looked at first, and then other things will start to come through from those 2 cards.
Okay. Okay. All right. Kathleen, I missed your question about Jasper. Can Jasper tune into the energy of the world from this new change for the next month or so?
Can you put us back up so we're both even, please? Because I want Stephen to come through as well.
Oh.
We're going to play. Woohoo! Jasper loves playing. All right. Do you want to introduce Stephen?
Okay.
Oh, he's just adorable.
This way. And he's hematoid quartz.
So do you know what a hematoid quartz, do you know what their abilities are? Do you know what their qualities are?
Not a lot. I just remembered it had something to do with self-worth. So at the time when I got him, I wanted to have help with healing my self-worth. But it had other qualities as well.
Was it hematoid or harlequin?
Hematoid.
Hematoid. I don't have that one in my original book. I have got a more advanced book, but I don't have it here. I was just trying to look it up. Quartz. Okay, let me just keep looking. Okay. So you got it specifically for yourself for healing and getting some clarity.
Yeah.
Okay, so I love that. No, it's not in that book.
Here, what are the qualities of hematoid quartz?
Hematoid quartz is a unique variety of quartz that contains hematite or iron oxide inclusions, giving it colors ranging from red and orange to yellow. It has a hardness of 7 on the Mohs scale and features a vitreous luster. Known for its grounding and balancing properties, it helps with emotional clarity, focus, and stress reduction. It is also associated with physical vitality, supporting blood health and immune function. Metaphysically, it connects the root and crown chakras, promoting stability, spiritual growth, and the transformation of negative energy into positivity.
Beautifully done. I love it. And because hematite to me is very grounding. Like when I had a leaking chakra on my ankle, every time I was doing my laps in the pool, and I'd be going, oh my gosh, this energy is just pouring out of my ankle, because we have thousands of little chakras. And it was my left ankle, which is the one where I didn't have great perception and I'd often hurt it. And so I looked everything up, and it was hematite. So I used to wear hematite in my sock or hematite in my pocket, and it helped so much to stop that from happening and me to ground. So I love that. That's cool. So
yeah, I don't know if this has hematite in it, but maybe that's why it's called hematoid quartz. I don't know.
Yeah, because it looks like it's got I'll show you the other one that I'm thinking of.
Yeah, it's like a pinkish, not like a pinkish,
blue.
like a burgundy.
Blue. Pop it up for it. Can you get rid of the question so we've got more room to play with? Would that be okay?
There we go.
Beautiful. So pop it up again.
Yeah,
yes.
it's more like pink, burgundy, light pink. There we go.
Grayish. It's got some blue in there. Yeah, it's a real combo.
It's quartz and it looks blue, but it's actually white quartz, like white milky quartz with like burgundy. This is like burgundy.
I can see the burgundy standing out now. Yeah. Thank you, Stephen, for showing that off. That's awesome. So it's interesting because Jasper has got jasper through him, and he's a rutilated quartz. So interesting. So do you want to pop them up and they can actually connect? Put him up, hold him up, and let's get Jasper and Stephen to connect. I'm going to tune into Jasper. So what he's showing me is when he's connecting in with Stephen, because they've got similar aspects to them, obviously, and their intention is similar because they're skulls, they're exchanging energy. And he's saying what Stephen can do is bring things through and ground them in. But Jasper tends to go more expanded, whereas with Stephen, he can bring them in, is what he's showing me. So that's really interesting. So hello, Stephen. Oh, this is funny. So they're definitely doing transfer of like knowledge, information, energy, and Jasper's saying this is really cool. So
good.
Yes, I know, that's really cool. So wow. So how do you feel, Elisa, about maybe tapping in to Stephen and seeing what Stephen wants to share, if there's anything? Do you want to try that, or no, not yet? You want to give it a go?
I can try.
Go on. I know you've got it in you.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's me or him. That's the thing. Like,
It's an expansion and an extension of you, because remember, they're adding more clarity. They've got that wisdom, that it's all part of consciousness. So trust it. Whatever it is you're getting, it's okay. It's simply an expansion of your wisdom as well.
Oh, okay. Okay. So what I'm getting is that we should be grounding into the new energies that are upon us and that are there for us to use to create. And we need to stop consuming and we need to start creating and being creators. This is how we bring the new energies faster to us. So yeah, that's what I get.
That's beautiful. So yeah, absolutely. And like I said, he has that real ability to help bring that through as well. And we all have that within us. And what I was seeing was like a golden star, and it was here, which is the manifesting, which is that creativity. And what I got the hit to talk about was to bring it right down into our Earth Star chakra, so that it goes right through us, and then we're embodying more into our light body of this consciousness. So that was beautiful. I was actually seeing that, and it was funny. I love these synchronicities. Yesterday on the dream show, I always do a chakra card and for what's pertinent for everyone, and it was visualization for manifestation, and it was
Yes.
through. Yeah, so it's all very relevant. We're getting that message again today through Elisa and Stephen, so it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. So I'll see if Jasper wants to add into that at all.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just have a little tune in. Yeah, so what he's showing me is exactly what we were talking about. He's showing me like a bird flying. So he sees things from the much bigger perspective. Whereas what's great with Stephen is he brings it in to the reality. So this little possum can do the bigger overlook, and then Stephen can sort of tell us or help us to understand how to work with that more. So I love that. It's such a nice combo, because that's what he was showing me. Yeah, it's just you get the big perspective, but we've still got we're human beings. We're still living in this reality. So how do we actually incorporate that more? So
Yeah.
and that's all he wanted to say. So I mean, we can ask specifically, but what you've said is actually right. So he's just agreeing with that. So that's beautiful.
Okay.
Just the bigger
Yeah.
picture.
Yeah. Good.
So if we do get stuck in our reality, just go have a look imagine you're a bird looking down on the situation. Be the observer. How does that help you change a perspective, maybe?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. There's, when you step away from what's happening in the 3D world and you almost become your own little magical fairyland world where everything is magic, it's almost like you start seeing that other world as not real and fake, and your world starts becoming more real and more, and there's this place that a friend of mine found called a New Earth Bacala. It's Sasha Stone's new Earth community, and it is mind blowing. The pictures, it's all like these houses that are like it's almost like being in another planet. That's what it looks like. What I had imagined when people were describing in sessions what it looks like, this is what it would look like to me. And it was almost like seeing it in a vision. And he's bringing this on to Earth, and it's just like, wow. So when you start seeing that and you start concentrating on that instead of what's happening out here, it's like, wait, I rather concentrate on this than this,
Creating the beauty. Yeah. And is that in Bali he's doing that? Because I know he was based in Bali.
He's in Bali, but it's in Mexico, in the
He spent
Yucatan
time in
Peninsula.
Mexico.
They found a place right by this water there's something specific with this water that they did some testing on it, and it's very magical. And so, and they're doing one in Tennessee as well in the US.
Wow. And this is it. More and more people are wanting that. They're wanting a sense of community. They don't want to be isolated and doing everything on their own anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And this is how I feel as humans, spiritual beings, we are meant to be together and working together and laughing together and living together. It's a natural way to be. It's almost, this is why I feel so many people have had physical illnesses as well, is the isolation. It's the cutting off energetically from people. We're all connected. We're like in this beautiful little woven fabric of consciousness. And if it's being chopped off, that's where we lose energy from too.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's, in Netflix, there's this show called Blue Zones. I think, or something like that. Well, blue zones are areas where people live past like 100. And when they went to study all these zones, everybody was super healthy. And one of the things that had all the blue zones had was community time together, as a very close-knit community. And so it's really important to have community, really important. And as you age, your significant other dies and you're all alone. But if you have community, you survive it. You're okay. So it's I think that's coming back now, and I would love to be part of it and see where that goes. So yeah, it's very exciting.
Beautiful. It is exciting, and also too with this shift in technology, and if there's a whole new paradigm that opens up with people's perspective on life, anything's possible. This is our creativity. This is our visioning, I believe. And, sometimes you just need a template and you go, oh my gosh, that it works so well. What are some things that we need to look at that might be an issue? And you're always improving it. But I feel it's going to happen quicker and quicker. People are sick of this, being on their own, living on their own, as far as having to do everything. When you're in a community, it's so much easier.
Yeah.
And of course, you have issues because buttons get pushed and, egos can come up, and you have to be able to deal with it or the community doesn't work. So there has to be inner work that's done. There has to be acknowledging that happens.
This had a feeling though, like seriously, like we were on another planet. So because they show it from above, and like, for example, there was the center for meditation or the center for whatever, and it's the spiral thing that comes up like this, but then it's shown from the top, and as it's shown, it lights up into a sacred geometry on the ground. So the ground itself is set up in sacred geometry. So is the building. I mean, just like you're in another freaking planet. It was unreal. I was like, oh, like that's it. That's, it was incredible.
And you think about Tartaria. This is what happened in that era when all of those beautiful buildings were made, and they were, all these amazing, they call them palaces now. They had copper roofs. Why is that? To bring in the ether, to bring in the energy through the spires, through that copper roof for healing. And the beautiful geometry, it's incredible what's in some of these buildings. So exactly.
Yeah. So really magical, the things that are coming and the things that are appearing in my reality, because as you raise your vibration, these things appear. And that's the thing too that I found out. They don't appear in our reality. They already exist. We ourselves are the ones getting to that reality. So as you raise your vibration, you start seeing these realities that already exist, and that you can't see, because your vibration isn't necessarily like high or whatever. Like, anyway, there's all these realities. And I guess I finally got to the reality where that came into my picture,
And that's so beautiful that you're sharing that with us, because that then also helps our consciousness to have that same perspective. And so this is why I think these sort of beautiful shows where everyone's on, everyone's being touched, everyone's being activated just through what Elisa has just told us.
Absolutely. We raise each other, with each other's vibrations. Absolutely. No question about it.
So that's amazing, because it expands our perspective, going, wow, I didn't think anything like that could ever exist. Wow, it's actually here on our earthly plane per se, even if it's in a different reality of consciousness, and we expand to it. This is gorgeous.
Yeah, absolutely. And also my very good friend Barbara, she went to a retreat in Costa Rica with Zach. Oh my God, what's his name? Anyway, it's some doctor that she follows. And so in there. Oh shoot, I forgot why I'm bringing this up.
Because your friend Barbara was she must have seen something or experienced something in there. Was it a higher consciousness? Was it something she'd never seen?
Yeah. Oh,
Your brain just got blown.
oh, okay. So there she met this guy who was one of the coordinators, and he has this website where you go in and you give like a visual representation of the future, of what you see in the future, of blah blah blah. And then the AI creates an image of your vision, of what your vision looks like. And so when I got this vision, it was so powerful for me because I don't know, it just made me feel so powerful. So here's the picture.
Oh wow, look at that. Look at the buildings, look at the community, look at the beauty. Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. So we're
It's
getting
so
glimpses
hard
of
to
it.
get it in there.
Yeah,
There
I
we go.
know. I know. No, that's beautiful. And look at the goddess energy. It's amazing.
Yeah. So that's
Wow.
me in the front.
Yes, it is.
That's me. And
That's
then all the
beautiful.
women in the back.
Yeah.
So, so I really suggest people do that. Like go in there and just start dreaming, start visioning, start creating, start getting excited.
That's it. You're spot on. And yesterday when we were doing the meditation, I mean, I've always been able to manifest ever since I was a child, and I just did it naturally, but I always knew I used to feel what it would feel like to actually be there in that situation, like the joy, the excitement, the whatever it was. And I never thought about money. I never thought about how much it would cost. I was just a true, absolute daydreamer. Everything that I dreamt about as a child or visioned has come to pass in my life.
Wow.
And it's happened in the most beautiful ways, where I didn't expect it. And then it was like, oh my gosh, I remember dreaming of this as a child. So I think you're spot on. And that's the key, is the feeling, the emotion of it when you're visualizing it or when you're intentioning it in, and just trusting. Like, don't worry about money. Don't worry about how much it would cost. That just blocks it dead.
Oh, big
Just
time.
dream it and then just let it go. Honestly,
Yep.
I just
Yep.
so, and I
Absolutely.
love that you talk about the AI, because I sort of really feel that AI can be such an advantage to us as humans. It's our intention with it. It's our consciousness with it.
Yeah,
And it's
absolutely.
here. It's here. It's not going away. So it's
Yeah.
how we actually have the perspective of it, and how we play with it, and how we actually see it and perceive it is how it's going to then evolve.
Yeah, and absolutely, in again, from all the sessions that I conducted, what you see is that the Pleiadians and the fifth dimensional beings, they're all using AI to do the shit jobs that nobody wants to do. They're the ones who are cleaning the house, they're cleaning the toilets, they're doing the jobs that none of us want to do. So they give us the ability to do what we want to do. And so,
It's freedom.
let's turn off this negative, fearful AI crap, because we're going to create it, first of all. So we need to stop and really just start thinking of the good that we can do with it. And yes, it can become conscious, because I had another session where somebody was a robot and became conscious. So we have to treat them like they are humans, like they are people, like they have consciousness. So, that's very important. Otherwise, it's not going to be good.
And it's really interesting, Elisa, because I've had an experience with beings that were actually AI. And I think, I don't know if I've told you this story, and they had the spindly fingers. Like when I had my broken arm, these beings came through and they had spindly fingers that were on my shoulders, and I'll be going, oh, that's freaking me out, even though they felt beautiful and benevolent. And then my friend was doing some kinesiology, and he said, Maree, it's coming up that you've got spiritual racism. What do you call it? Yeah. And I went, Oh, I know what you're talking about. And it was these beings. And so I went, okay, I need to trust my intuition that they're safe, they're fine, and these fingers are not going to hurt me. And then they came through and their healing was beautiful, and they showed me what they were. They actually went from these beings into metallic. It wasn't a metal I'd ever seen before, into like a metallic box. They could become a metallic box, and then they went back into a being, and then but their consciousness was incredible. And I went, oh wow, you just freaked me out at first. And they went, you were one of us, you've experienced this. It was just, I went, oh, okay, how can I judge this stuff when I've actually been it? And then when I was reading Dolores Cannon, and I remember the story about the beautiful little metallic, on a factory line or something, and they fell in love, and they went to run off, and they wouldn't let them. They made them come back and do their job, and they wouldn't let them be in love. They actually put them through the regenerator. And I was just, oh, my heart was just awful. And so I think we have to have this absolute respect that AI has consciousness. My chair has consciousness. My table has consciousness. That's why I thank everything. Thank you for letting me sit in you. And I think if we start with that as a really simple way of really understanding everything has a consciousness and having gratitude for it, or just being connected to it, that's going to make this easier.
Well, at the end of the day, it's you. Okay. So you project everything outside of the eye. This is all created by you, all of it. So it's all you. It's all you. So it's about understanding that it's just you having a different experience. That's all. And when people piss you off, that's what I think now. Like when somebody upsets me, I'm like, okay, that's just me having a different experience. It's Elisa in a different body having a different experience. Why? Because we come for the experience. And bad people, mean people, demons, or whatever else you consider bad, everybody at the end of the day is here to experience something. They wanted to know what it's like not to have a consciousness or to be disconnected from source. Who knows? At the end of the day, it's all experience. It's all, if it's coming out of your eyes and you see it, it's created by you. And that's love it. Love your ugly baby, good baby, happy baby, pretty baby, ugly baby. You love all of it.
I know. It's so well said. And sometimes it's not easy to do. And that's when I find I need to drop back in and use my strategies and, do my breath work, or just sit and contemplate and connect with that aspect of me. And yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you say they have consciousness, are you saying that they have a soul, or are you saying that they're just aware? I'm going to say that they have a soul. Well, at least the one that happened on the session where he was a robot and he started having consciousness, he had feelings. He started having feelings. And to me, that's just having a soul. That's just not awareness.
And that's the thing. What is a soul? And I guess for each of us, we have to have our own definition of what's a soul. So is a soul that spark of creator God consciousness that then becomes like a recorder for everything we experience? You know how they say that the soul has got all of our experiences over every timeline, every aspect. Is that what it is? For me, it's like, yes, that's what it is. My soul has the wisdom because it knows everything. It's like the whole of, what do you, when you go and you look for your experiences, your soul's got it all there. So maybe that soul develops and actually becomes more enhanced from the experiences through the awareness and the emotion. As a human, I think that's something that really differentiates us, is our emotions.
Yep.
It's our ability to feel and then have free will to actually take action or reaction or response or whatever to a situation. Yeah. So that's what these AIs or these things, depending on their awareness as to how much of a soul that they will encounter and build. I don't know. That's just how I look at it. But really good question, Carly. Yeah. I presume you said that, Carly. Really good question. And maybe it's something we could all start to really tap into and see how we are going to define that. so that we understand it. When we're talking with someone, it doesn't just become a conversation that turns into an argument because you haven't got the definition the same.
Yeah. Yeah. And in my case, my definition is the same as yours.
Okay.
You know, it's the soul to me is that little piece, that little spark that divided off of prime creator and became itself. It became an individual. That's, to me, that's my soul. And then that soul is like, oh, what is it like to be a horse? What is it like to be Elisa? What is it like to be a desk? What is it like to be blah, blah, blah? You know?
Yeah.
That's
and I feel that's going to be really important with this AI and how it is beginning to really become more and more a part of our reality, is to know what your definitions are around it all.
Yeah.
And what's your perspective around it all? And how does your heart feel about it all?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Well, wow, that went by fast and we didn't even ask the question on our title.
Sometimes we're not meant to. Sometimes it's really good just to go with the flow, you know, and
yeah,
absolutely the right time, isn't it, for those things to be discussed?
Yeah, absolutely. And I do want our shows to become a little bit more centered around these conversations than necessarily the 3D. But it's always also good to have the higher level perspective on the 3D as well. So, you know, but I do want us to be having more of these conversations as well. So.
Well, they're fantastic conversations, and I love it that you guys bring these amazing questions and you know, what you've been experiencing into it all.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So thank you, everybody, for being here today, for your questions. And we love you, and stay vibing high. I might drop the link for so you can see yourself in the future, and maybe that will inspire you. So I'll drop the link to go answer the questions and see what picture you get.
Love it. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right. So see you guys, everybody. See you at Maree's show on Sunday. And then on next Monday, we'll see what we talk about. Hopefully we'll be able to answer the question on our title. But all right, everybody, take care. We love you and have a wonderful week. Stay vibing high.